Good morning, everyone. My name is Chandrajyoti Singh. I have secured an All India rank of 28 in the UPSC Civil Services Examination 2019. Today I'm here to discuss my strategy for the history optional. But before I delve into that, I would like to talk about a bit of my background. Then I will talk about my journey with civil services and then my strategy for the optional. First and foremost, both of my parents served in the army, so the motivation to clear the civil services examination was always there to serve my country and do my bit for it. Since my parents were in a transferable job, I shuttled across the country and eventually came to St. Stephen's College to pursue my graduation in history. I graduated in 2018 and I took a gap year, and after that I gave my first attempt in 2019. That was a little something about myself. And now let's talk about the journey. I finished my graduation in June 2018 and moved to Old Rajendra Nagar and decided to dive straight head first into the preparation mode. Prepared for the history optional by taking the first 4 months, that is from June, July, August and September. I finished each and every subtopic such as ancient India in the month of June, and then so on and so forth. And I completed the syllabus in 4 months. After I was done with the syllabus, I decided to go for answer writing as well as taking mock tests to see how well I fared in an actual exam-like situation. Eventually, I decided to go for map practice as well. Though I had been taking map practice at home side by side, I used to mark 5 to 10 places in the map every day for about half an hour. I would just do this. And that really helped me, as in the end it became easier to revise because these were my own maps and my own notes that I had made on each of the sites that I had marked on the map. Now my strategy for history optional was very simple. Firstly, to keep the sources limited and make notes from them in my own handwriting and therefore revise them later on, and then in times of the examination, when the examination was just around the corner, they were really handy as I could revise them really fast. So first of all, I would like to talk about what my sources were. For ancient India, I referred to Professor R.S. Sharma and Professor Upinder Singh's book. Moving on to medieval India, I referred to Professor Satish Chandra's book. For modern India, I referred to Professor Bipin Chandra's book and Shekhar Bandyopadhyay's book. Moving to world history, I referred to Jain and Mathur, Norman Lowe's book, as well as just the internet. If I found something that was not given in an adequate manner in these sources, I would just Google it, just add the keyword UPSC next to it, and you will find a huge number of sources. And as always, you can go to Wikipedia if the sources are not available. However, I feel that besides these basic sources, I also referred to supplementary sources. The first of these supplementary sources was IGNOU notes that I took. The IGNOU graduation notes always fill in the gaps that you have in your handwritten notes, and they prove to be really helpful. Secondly, I also referred to my own notes that I had made in the graduation days, and they also proved to be really helpful as they added on to the sources, the basic sources that I had kept for myself. After these sources, I moved to mock tests. There are 2 mock tests that I took, one from self-study history and another from GS score. Both these mock tests proved to be really helpful for me because I really did not know how well my answers were, and getting the feedback on these answers was really important and proved to be really helpful in me improving the quality of my answers, learning how to present these answers, and just improve my rank. So I feel that besides keeping the sources limited and revising your own handwritten notes, another important facet of the preparation is answer writing. So please do focus on answer writing as much as you can. Because after all, the content might remain the same for many students. To really give your content that X factor, I would say do go for mock tests and regular answer writing with evaluations. Like I said about the maps, I referred to the Self-Study History's comprehensive map source list, and they really proved to be helpful as I didn't have to go to any other site to look for maps, and these were just in the manner UPSC expects us to write the answers, because they're given time period wise. So first is ancient, then is medieval, and then you move on, and they're very easy to remember and revise at the end of the day. Since I've talked about maps and we're talking about now the history optional, one of the most important aspects again of this optional is the historiography, which is the study of writing history. Now, as we all know, history is not just a narrative of the past. It is much more. It is a critical analysis of the economy, society and the polity that we have and we had. For this, I would say that each time you're reading a scholar or each time a scholar's name is mentioned, please do keep it in mind and cite them whenever you're writing the answer. Let's just take a simple example. For instance, if we look at the Harappan civilization. Right? So in Harappan civilization, if there's a question about the decline of the civilization, you can always cite the scholars who gave a particular theory. So instead of writing, that environmental degradation took place, write who said that environmental degradation might have taken place, right? Who gave the theory that we were invaded maybe, or maybe the course of the river changed. So remember the names of the scholars such as Ram Prasad Chanda, George Dales, Shireen Ratnagar, etc. and they will serve you really well when you are trying to get ahead of others in this examination. Because after all, this is a competitive exam and you really have to make your answer stand out. So historiography is really important. Now, I would also say that a lot of students have asked me if we should go for handwritten notes or just mark them in the books. I would say please go for handwritten notes because at the end of the day you will have a paucity of time, and in this paucity of time you cannot refer to multiple sources, you cannot go to multiple books and see where you underlined a particular topic from. Right? So therefore I suggest make your own handwritten notes so that when the time is less, you can revise them as fast as possible, right? I would say that was my basic strategy for the history optional, and I think my strategy served me really well. To each their own, but so please pick and choose any aspects of this strategy that you like, and if you want to discard some aspects, it's your wish. You're welcome to feel free to change the strategy to suit your needs, your level of preparation and your background in the subject, because since the subject is really vast, so some people get scared, they do not take history, but I say to them that if you can grasp this subject, you love reading history, and history also helps you out in other papers such as GS1 and even the essay preparation. It gives you a wide array of ideas to choose from and incorporate in your answers. As answer writing is really important in the history paper, your content, not only just that, your presentation also matters. So I would suggest that you take some answer writing practice as well as some test series. Like I've said, I took my test series from GS Core and self-study. I would also say that if you don't want to just go for the test series, I would say why don't you start off with some answer writing practice. For this answer writing practice, I think guidance is available everywhere, and it's available right here at GS Core under Piyush sir, who teaches history, and I feel that his guidance has been really helpful to me as well. I am sure it has been helpful to the other students who appeared for this examination. So I would say that please do go for history optional, and I hope you're all successful while taking this optional. Best wishes to all students. Thank you.